In this video, you will get to know about what is meant by SQL. SQL, the full form of SQL is Structured Query Language. The full form of SQL is Structured Query Language. So it was firstly implemented by Oracle. It was firstly implemented by, that is discovered by Oracle Corporation in 1979. The year 1979 was firstly discovered in the. Okay, just remember this two points. It's very important. So what is SQL? Why we need to use SQL? So SQL is actually a high-level programming language. We can call SQL as a high-level programming language. Why? Because it's understandable for the users to write the program. So it is not complex. It's very easy. That's why we call SQL is high-level programming language. You can also say SQL as a domain-specific language. You can also say SQL as a domain-specific language. Why? Because it has the functionality of Turing complete. We can say Turing complete. What is meant by Turing complete? Turing complete means uh, it has the ability to perform complicated calculations. If if you say any kind of if you say some language as Turing complete, it means it can perform any kind of mathematical complex operation. If it performs any complicated calculation, then it is known as Turing complete. This Turing complete, it has the ability to perform Turing complete. So that's why we call SQL comes under this domain-specific language. We can call SQL as a high-level language, domain-specific language. So SQL can also be called as SQL, but you have to remember SQL is not a general purpose language. SQL is not a general purpose programming language. You have to remember it's not a general purpose. It's just a domain purpose. Domain specific means it works only for that particular domain. It will not work for other applications. Why we call SQL is not a general purpose means what's actually general purpose. If SQL works out of the box, if SQL works only for that particular domain, it will not work for other domains it will not work for other things. It works only for this purpose, database purpose. Right? That's why we call as SQL is a domain specific. But if it works for other purpose, we can call SQL as general purpose programming language. It's not working right. That's why we call SQL is not a general purpose language. It's a domain specific language. We have to remember this. Yeah, that's it. So SQL can also be called as a fourth generation programming language. Just remember SQL is called as fourth generation programming language. Why we call SQL is 4GL programming language, fourth generation language. Why? Because SQL syntax, SQL is very easy to read and its syntax, it's very easy for humans to write our generation, second generation, third generation, fourth and now fifth generation. This is how generations are evolved. We have to remember first and second or low level generation. These are machine understandable. Humans can't able to understand, but these generations are human understandable, and it is easy for every human beings to learn and to write the code. That's why SQL comes under fourth generation programming languages, as it helps to as it helps humans to write the code easily because it is full of English words, right? So it reduces time, gadgets, and cost. That's why I call this fourth generation. And you have to remember, SQL is an interactive language. You can call SQL as interactive language. Why? Because it is easy to learn, and easy to understand. You can easily interact with SQL, and we can perform any kind of complex queries. We can reply, we can answer any complex queries within seconds. So it's because it is easy to understand and learn. So that's why we call this as interactive because and it will solve any complex queries and the results will be generated within seconds. For complex queries, results will be generated in seconds. In seconds, we'll get the output for any kind of queries. That's why we call SQL as interactive language. Just remember. Yeah. So SQL can also be comes under the standardized language. Why? Because it followed some standards and it was approved by some of the organizations as while preparing documentation work at the time of preparing language. It has followed some standards. That's why we call it a standardized language. Yeah. So SQL comes under open source platform. Open source platform, open source language, you can say. SQL is open source language. What is open source? Open source means we can download that code, we can download and we can use and modify the code from anywhere, from any place. So that's why SQL comes in open source programming languages. SQL uses MySQL platform, Oracle, Microsoft, right? We can download that SQL code and we can modify and we can use it in other applications too. That's why we call SQL as an open source language. We can also call SQL as a portable language. So we can call SQL as a portable language. Why? Because this language can be transformed from one computer to other device. We can transform this language from one device to other device. What I mean to say is, if we have prepared any kind of SQL program in one computer, that SQL file can be transformed to another place, another device, where devices um, from laptops to computers, from laptops to mobile devices. Device independent. You can run in any device. That's what we call as portable. We can load and we can run. That's why we call it as a portable language. So it has the capability of running in various platforms. So just remember, SQL is called as a structured query language. We can call SQL as high level language, domain specific language, fourth generation language, interactive language, and standardized language. It follows all standards. It was approved by Oracle and it's an open source language and portable language. Now let's get to know about the history of SQL. So in the year 1979, IBM developed a communication medium known as system. IBM developed a communication medium known as system. So it followed some EF code rules. It followed some EF code rules. So in the year 1979, IBM developed a communication medium called system. But it follows EF code rules. But to be honest, this got not approved. It was not approved by ISO and ANSI. They developed the medium, but it was not approved. But later on, in 1981, IBM developed software called again IBM developed a software called as SQLDS. SQLDS. But again after developing this SQLDS, but again it got not approved. But it was not approved. Not approved by ISO and NSA. Again, it got not approved. So after that, even after that, in 1986, SQL was adopted. SQL in 1986, SQL got adopted by Oracle Corporation. It was just adopted by Oracle, and it was later published by ANSA and ISO also. So in the year 1986, it was adopted by SQL was adopted by Oracle, and it was jointly published. It was jointly published, approved by ANSI. Just remember. But in 1987, this SQL got approved from ISO also. Okay, that's how it was. In the year 1989, SQL 89 got introduced, and later it also got certified from ANSI and ISO. It later got certified from these two organizations. So in the year 1992, SQL 92 got introduced. The 92 SQL 92 got introduced with a few SQL plus commands. With SQL plus commands. The year 1992 it got introduced with SQL plus commands. In the year 1999, SQL 99 got introduced with the full version of tools, like full features, so many features. Just in the year 1999, SQL 99 version was released with so many kinds of tools and features. For trolling software industry, and it works with the RDMA softwares, right? I hope you know that. So let's get to know the standards, like what we have discussed. Let's again just go through the standards. Let's again go to the standards. The first standard is the SQL 86 standard was approved 89th standard. We got 89th version and 92nd version and 96. If we observe each standards, with the new standards coming, we have got more number of features. Each standard specifies the unique features, right? That's it. 99th standard, we got 99 2003 standard, we got 2006 standard, and we got 2006 standard. I got 2008 standard, 2011 standard. We got 2011 standard, and also we got 2016. Yes, I got anything. 2016 standard and 2023 standard. So this is how SQL standards got evolved. So the latest standard is 2023 standard. I hope from this video you have understood what is SQL and the history of SQL. Thank you.